This episode sponsored by Lake Monster Details, producing the Don's Light and Magic Legacy line of parts, offering upgrade parts and decals for accuracy, special effects, and lighting. Visit www.lakemonsterdetails.com and make it glow. Also sponsored by GCals, producing aftermarket replacement decals and custom quality graphics for your favorite spaceships. Visit www.gcals.company.site and add some personalization to your sci-fi models today. Hey, what's up, fellow modelers? Will here. I know it's been a while. We finally got our move done, and we are in Virginia, and you'll have to excuse the bags under my eyes because for some reason since we've gotten back here, my eyes have just been getting tortured. So I've been starting on some allergy medicine, but you'll just have to excuse them. But anyway, so we're back in Virginia. I finally got somewhat of a build area set up. This is not the permanent build area. I'll turn it around to show you. You can see I'm kind of set up and crammed into the sunroom here with some other stuff, but it'll do for now. Eventually what I'm going to do is I've got take a peek out this window here. See that shed out there? It's rusting, and I'm going to tear it down and have an actual new shed put out there, which is going to be my hobby room, my hobby shed. And so that's going to take a little bit to do, so I'm stuck in here for now. But anyway, I want to talk mainly in this episode about the Big Bird that I'm working on, the Big Bird of Prey from goldenarmor.com. I haven't really talked much about that in the previous videos. I've mainly been working on the smaller 1/350 scale Bird of Prey. So I want to talk about that. Before I do that, let me just mention a couple things. First of all, I was very saddened by the passing of Nichelle Nichols. It's unfortunate that an unfortunate loss to the Star Trek community, but not just because she's one of the last remaining original Star Trek cast, but because of the person she was, the woman she was. Very beautiful person, very beautiful soul. And I know we hear this said a lot, but I don't think we're going to see somebody of her stature, her benevolence, to if that's the correct word, but I don't think we're going to see somebody with her kind of nature that she had for quite a while. So very saddened to hear that news. But additionally, going on past that, many of y'all probably heard about Eagle Moss has filed for, I forget what the terminology is they use over there in the UK, but it's basically the US version of bankruptcy. So that build that I was working on is pretty much dead in the water, unless somebody takes up the mantle for that. And there's a lot of rumors going around, and one of those is that supposedly that Jamie had made a comment that he wanted to buy it. I don't know about that. I don't know Jamie that well, but just the statements, or just in his conversation at Wonderfest a couple months ago, I don't know that that's something he would do, but I don't know. So I'll take that with a grain of salt. There's been a couple rumors about other companies possibly buying them out, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll hold on to it for now, and let me know in the comments what are you gonna do with those pieces, because I don't think anybody got 100% of this. I think I'm at pack 76, and I think there's 120 or so packs that are supposed to be coming out. So we'll see what happens. Maybe somebody will pick it up, I hope, and we'll get that model going again. So but if you do go to the Eagle Moss website, you'll see the website is still up, but if you click on the shop button, and you get this little comment here that their website's under maintenance. So not a good sign. If you go to the mypartworks.com website, they do have a blog on it, and they're kind of covering the details that come up about Eagle Moss. So you can kind of go there and check it out and stay up to date on what the status is of it. He's doing some, last update was on the 28th, and he was contacting the manufacturers to see if they had any news. So we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, let's get on to this bird of prey that I'm working on. Like I said, this is from goldenarmor.com, and it is a studio scalable. And I say studio scalable because you can scale it up to studio scale, but as the file comes, the file, I am printing the file as it comes at 100%, and I think to do studio scale on this, you have to scale it up to 130 or 140%, I think is what I read. But it is a huge model either way, and I've been working on this for a bit. It's not a cheap model to do it all. First of all, you've got to have the 3D printer to do it, which I've got my setup over here. I've got my Anycubic Photon Mono X. I'm looking to upgrade to the M3 Max. I think it's the M3 Max, but it's the Max. Because with this one, I've got to actually split a couple of the files in order to be able to print this. And with the M3 Max, I wouldn't have to do that. I could print this without having to do any splits, and then it leaves out any seam work or that I'm going to have to do. But anyway, the file itself is $130, and that's just to get the file. So that's another investment you'd have to make. And then on top of that, there's the other, you know, like I said, I've got the my printer here, and then this is my my cleaning and curing station. So a lot of investment into it, but this probably won't be the only one I do. I'm looking, I may start to build a couple of these and see if anybody's interested in buying one. So we'll see how that goes. A lot of work to do, but it's a very nice model. It comes with all the files you need to print it, and then you get these diagrams as far as how to assemble it. Pretty simple assembly, and it's really easy going together. They did a real nice job on this model as far as making it so everything kind of slots together, and all you gotta do is glue it in place. Almost at times feels like you're building a Lego set. It goes together so well versus, you know, a regular model. But it's beautifully done. Not 100% screen accurate. They've taken some liberties, but nothing that really takes away from the overall model itself. It's mostly accurate. There's just a couple small details, mainly that I've noticed around the bridge area, that they've done a little different. But like I said, it's, unless you're looking at a picture of it side by side with the actual studio model, you're not really going to notice it. And let's see, I do have some shots here of, let's see, where are we going to go? Studio model. And I've just got a whole library here of shots of the studio model when it was on display. And that's pretty much what I've been using for my reference photos for painting. And you just kind of flip through these and I can get a good idea of what needs to be painted what. So it's good to have a library of files. I do this with every model I build. If there's a studio model for it, I'll go and try to find as many detailed photographs as I can of each area. And you can kind of see the studio model bridge there, and then this is my painted bridge model here, and you can see some of the proportions are a little different. Some of the markings are a little different, but nothing major. I mean, if you look at it, you're going to know it's a bird of prey, so nothing to complain about there. But very nice model. The only thing it didn't come with was this checklist, which was sent to me by oh god, I'm forgetting the name right now, but it was sent to me by, they've got a Facebook page set up for people that are building this model, and one of the gentlemen on there was nice enough to send me this checklist, and it makes it so much easier. I don't know why it wasn't included with the original files, but I've got it now. So once I go in and print up these files, I get these parts. These are all the parts that you see here on screen that I need to build the neck. And just to give you an example of how easy these go together. I mean, this part just slots in, and then this part will slot into place. And then this part will attach on the underside, and I don't have anything glued together yet. But it goes together real easy. And you paint it, and then you just do a little sanding if you need to, prime it, do a little prep work on it. But I've got that. And the reason why I'm doing this on my phone, I don't have my camera set up yet, but also I need to move around a little bit to show you everything on this. Give you an idea of the size of this thing. This is kind of a mock-up, real quick, of the hull and the left wing. So you can see how big that is. I mean, it's sizable. It's going to be pretty hefty too in weight. Now there is a support bracket that goes in here that I've currently got a metal fabrication business working on for me. They're going to do that up, and I've asked them to quote me on if I buy multiples of it, so that way if I do decide to start building these and putting them up for sale, I'll have some of those. But it's quite a process to do this. It is not cheap at all. I think I've probably used 3 bottles of the I'm out right now. I've been using the Soraya Tech Fast. This is just a bottle, but this size, this 1 kilogram bottle, I think I've gone through at least 3 or 4 of those to get this far, and I've still got the right wing to do yet, and then I've got everything printed. But this is everything. It's a massive model. You can see here, this is one thing why I want to upgrade to a larger printer. This file had to be split, so I've got this seam now that I've got to work on across the middle here, which actually in the latest files has changed, and the seam is split along this panel line here, so that way it's not as obvious, and maybe I won't have to do as much work on it. But so I've got to work on that. I have got, you can see the wing here. This is not broken. This is where I had to split the wing, or somebody was nice enough to split the wing for me so I could fit it onto my printer. But won't be too bad. I can get it glued up and work on this seam line some. The only thing with it, this is mostly designed for lighting. The only issue I ran into is when you look at the gun here, which I don't have glued together, so it's going to fall apart on me. This isn't hollowed out. Just the tip is hollow, but it's solid the rest of the way through. So this isn't hollowed out for you to put a light in, to do any kind of lighting, or to run any type of wires up this part here or up the wing. So I'm going to have to do some work to hollow, probably trench it, and then run the wires and then fill it back in all the way up the wing. Unfortunately, the wing comes apart, so I can just trench it a little bit, not too much, because there will be a bit of a space here, a bit of a void between these 2 panels. So I can mostly just run the wires up through there. But the great thing about having the 3D printable files is once you have them, you can kind of edit them. You can make changes to them. And one example is I hollowed this out. I went and I went and imported this into Tinkercad, and I just used the hole option. And what I did was I made this hold. I put a hole all the way through this barrel, all the way out the end here, and then I put this copper rod in to kind of add support and give it a little more rigidity, so that way it wouldn't break too easy. And that gives me the ability now to run my wires down this and put my light in there, which is probably going to just be an SMD. But it's a great option. It's good to have these files and then be able to edit them like that. And I may do some other customization, a little more customization to some other parts too down the road. But right now, just getting it printed up and getting it put together. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to go over that. I've got my lighting kit here from Stellar Effects. It says Big Easy Model Solutions, but it's Stellar Effects. And that's going to go in this bird and get it lit up. So, sorry it's kind of just a little quick impromptu video, but I did want to get something out and show that, hey, I'm back at work, working on stuff. it's going to be slow progress because I'm kind of cramped in this room right now. But we'll get it done. And here, when I get a little more done on this, we'll come back and take another look at it. So anyway, guys, I appreciate everybody for watching these and appreciate everybody's comments and support. And thank you for all the support you've been showing. So until next time, keep modeling.